NRT Game Servers is your best option for your gaming development needs. State-of-the-art technology combined with some of the best voice talent and software out there, NRT gives a quality gaming experience. Dedicated to their craft, NRT provides quality product and services. Contact NRT Game Servers today at 828-212-4040 or at www.nrtservers.com today for a quality gaming experience.
Welcome, race fans, to DRTV, Sim Racing Television. Online tonight with us is RTG. They're going to do their Happy Holidays 200. And up in the booth tonight announcing this race is going to be Phil Lacoste and Todd Stanton. Guys, welcome aboard, and what do you think we're getting into here?
Thank you very much, Rich. Great field of cars here we got tonight over at RTG. We're at the Michigan International Speedway 100-lap event tonight. A loaded field of trucks out here tonight. We just completed qualifying. A lot of top speeds out there. Todd, looks like we got a good field out here tonight. What are you thinking?
Real good field. A lot of the speeds are still the same out there. They're pretty close, racer Phil.
All right. Well, we've got a minute here. Pole speed there. Sean Prime, the 015, took our pole here in a very strong field. Let's see if we can't get Sean in here and talk to our pole sitter here tonight. So we're in here with our pole sitter, Sean Prime in the 015. Sean, it's Phil, Todd, and Rich in the booth. You got a copy?
I sure do, gentlemen. How you doing?
Very good, Sean. Great lap out there tonight. A very, very stacked field we got here tonight for the Happy Holidays 200. Great lap. Tell us about it.
Oh, you got all the heavy hitters tonight here, guys. I'll tell you, I didn't know if it was going to be the pole lap. I eked it out by my chin, but the key was just being smooth on that wheel. A lot of speed here tonight.
Big top speed there of 40.206 around this 2-mile speedway, Michigan International Speedway. You said a big field here tonight. What's your strategy going in? You going to go all out from the beginning and try to stay at the front? Are you going to save your stuff? Or what's your strategy?
I don't think saving's going to work too much here tonight. You know me, I try to be smooth and not lay it on the line too early. The RTG Silverado is hooked up and ready to go. I was contending for the win at this race last year, and I ended up in the snowbank in turn 4 coming to the white flag. So you never know how it's going to go here. Hopefully we're going to have a good, clean race. I want to thank Terry Bauman and Dave Cannon. You know, we put a lot of work in putting this thing on, and real glad to have DRTV on board, that's for sure. Hopefully we'll give you a really good, clean show.
Well, we're hoping for the same thing, Sean. Good luck tonight, and we hope to be talking to you here later on. Great lap.
Thanks again, sir. You guys have a great broadcast. We're glad to have you.
Todd, back to you. So it looks like we've had 22 trucks take time trials here. Looks like we have a field of 24 trucks that'll roll off, take the green flag. Sean Prime said your pole sitter, a 40.206. Steve Powers, the number 532. He's in at a time at 40.213. He's your outside pole sitter. Row 2, you'll see Josh Metallic, the 39. Rusty Little, the 102. And rounding out your top 5 is Corey Deal in the 044. He come over at a time of 40.254. Top 15 trucks separated by 0.2 of a second here as we go into the event. And Todd, looks like we're going to have a hot and heavy race. I can't imagine guys are going to lay back here. 100 laps, a long race. I mean, have any idea what we're looking at for like a pit window? No, Rich, I think I got you on this end. Look, we got a great field here. Looks like you're about...
most definitely. We got the standings up on the screen now. And like you said, we got a strong field, 22, 23 cars. It looks like 22 cars. And should be an interesting night tonight. We're having a little bit of technical difficulties with our other announcer. Todd's going to go ahead and get his stuff fixed out over there. And I hear he's back online. Todd, welcome back, buddy.
Yeah, some issues, a little nerves racking me just a little bit, and I guess my computer's feeling the same nerves I got.
Well, it looks like we're rounding out the last 25 seconds or so of happy hour. Some trucks out there on the speedway, they're drafting in, a little bit of pit practice going on, and I'm thinking probably with the fuel, we're probably looking at probably 25 to 30 laps of fuel window. Todd, have you had any time on the racetrack at all? Have you tried this out? See maybe what a fuel window may be?
I haven't got much time out there on the track. I actually didn't get the chance to turn a lap, but I believe it's going to be 20 to 25 laps, maybe even 30 laps. You're going to see a lot of different strategies. You're going to see 2 tires. You're going to see 4 tires. You're going to see no tires on Michigan. A lot of times this race turns into a fuel mileage race.
And a great touch here tonight we have at RTG. Winter version of the Michigan International Speedway. You see they've plowed some of the racetrack with snow. You got some snow here in the infield, so you really don't want to get around and get to the snowbanks there. Look like you really ruin your night and probably get stuck there for a while, as it looks like when we're about to take the grid. Well, maybe not.
Yeah, I think they're down there resetting everything, getting ready to take the grid now. So they're probably going to reset happy hour, and then once they get everybody in, make sure everything's okay, we should be going to the race here shortly. You know how it works with this online racing stuff. Sometimes there's glitches on both ends, and with a crowd of 22 people in here, you know they're going to have to make sure they got all the bugs out before they take the green flag.
Well, we got a minute here in the action. Looks like we got a couple of minutes here left of happy hour. Let's see if we can't get Steve Powers, the outside pole sitter, here. Steve Powers, it's Phil, Todd, and Rich in the booth. Got a copy?
Yes, I do.
Steve, great lap there coming in the outside pole. 6/100ths of a second off our pole sitter, Sean Prime. Great lap. Tell us about it.
Well, I didn't get quite the first lap I was looking for. I didn't get enough heat in the tires, and I slipped a little bit in 1 and 2, but otherwise it was within about half a hundredth of what I could normally run. I was just a little disappointed. I could have had the pole. I was running 1/8 in practice.
Steve, this is Todd up in the booth. Is this your first race, Happy Holidays race over here at RTG? Tell us a little bit about what you think's going to happen, maybe a little bit of strategy going into tonight's race.
Honestly, my strategy is to keep my nose clean and have a good race and just try and keep it running at the end. My last race in this series, my motor blew up on lap 9, so anything can be better than that.
All right, Steve. Well, great lap on the outside pole. You got a good seat here. Looking out the windshield, it'd be something with clean air in front of you, just to go 15 on the front row and a 100-lap race in front of you here on this 2 miles. So good luck tonight, and we'll hope we talk to you here soon.
All right, thank you, guys.
All right, and Steve Powers, your outside pole sitter. We'll throw it over to Todd here. Todd, I think you have the full lineup here, starting lineup.
Again, we've went over your top 2 and interviewed your top 2, but starting on the pole is the 015 of Sean Prime with a 40.206. Outside of him is the 532, that's Steve Powers. Inside row number 2, starting in that third starting position, is the 39 of Josh Metallic. His dancing partner to the outside is the 102 of Rusty Little.
Row 3 rolling off on the inside, the 044 of Corey Neal. He clocked in with a 40.254. Outside row number 3, you'll see the 49 of Frank Divins. Inside row 4, the 7th starting position, you'll find the number 5. That's David Day. He clocked in with a time of 40.259. On the outside of row 4, you have Herman Reese in the 59.
Inside row number 5, starting in that 9th starting position, is the 088. That's Tim Nosker. Outside of him is the number 80 of Jeff Crivello. Inside row number 6, starting in the 11th starting position, that's the number 9, that's Matt Whale. Outside of him is number 13 of Dave Melson.
Rolling off your 13th starter tonight, the 065, that's Larry Yeager Jr. Outside of him, the 6th, that's Zach Freemel. Rolling off 15th, the 10 truck, that's Terry Bombard. And 16th starting position outside row number 8, Manny Diaz, number 710.
Rolling off in that 17th starting position, that's the 18, that's David Lawson. Outside of him is the 71 of Brian Ordo. 19th is the 003 of David Cannon. Outside of him is the number 28, starting in the 20th starting position, that's Gord Quinn.
Last 3 starters here rolling off in the 21st position, the 95 of Dave Earlywine. Outside row number 11, 22nd starting position, we'll find the 7 of Cy Jones. And going shotgun on the field here, the 69, that is Terry Bauman. So that will be 23 starters here that'll take the green flag. A full field of cars here tonight. 100 laps around this 2-mile D-shaped oval here at the Michigan International Speedway. So we're just peeking around the racetrack. A little more happy hour going on. Guys getting the last test and tune going on. Working out their bugs in the draft. Get their trucks all handling right. Some guys on and off pit road to practice. Some guys on the racetrack darting in and out, learning where those passing zones are. And Todd, high speeds entering these corners here. And these things look like they're glued to the bottom. So might be something with the temp, the track conditions. Looks like there's a lot of grip out there tonight. And it looks like we're in for a great race.
I have to agree with you, Phil. It's going to be a good race. There's a lot of darting out there. There's a lot of people testing each other's boundaries. You see David Day going down low. You see the number 9 of Matt Whale right now. He's leading a pack of trucks right now. And just there's 3 or 4 different distinct grooves out there that these guys are trying to run right now.
Looking at some times coming up on the leaderboard here through happy hour, we saw the pole speed going at a 40.206 for Sean Prime. Well, these things in the draft, they're really taking off. Outside pole sitter Steve Powers in the 532, he's clocked in leading happy hour currently to 38.499. So that's over a second, about one and a quarter seconds over that pole speed. So these guys in the draft absolutely flying around this speedway.
Absolutely flying around this speedway. A lot of these guys are starting to do some last-minute pit strategies and trying to test out pit road to see how they're going to get into the entrance of pit road. Racer, being a racer yourself and knowing what's going on out there, and myself too, how key is it to practice your pit stops at a track like this?
Oh, it's absolutely key tonight. I mean, looks like the wide speedway here, a lot of grip on the racetrack. Looks like we may see a lot of green flag racing. And getting on and off pit road, I mean, races are won or lost, as you know, Todd, from years and years doing this yourself. Races are won or lost on pit road. You got to hit your marks. Got to not get hit speeding. Got to hit your pit box perfectly. Need everything on the jack, and it looks like the car's about to take the green here. And 100 laps of racing in front of us. Rich, would you like to set the stage?
Well, I got the camera down here on the end of pit road here, and it looks like the trucks are lined up, getting ready to get off of pit road.
So the field has gridded here. We're waiting for the command to start engines.
Drivers, start your engines!
And with that, 25 trucks will roll to life here. The Happy Holidays 200, brought to you by RTG, Rolling Thunder Gaming here. Great league here. Great field of trucks out here. A lot of heavy hitters in this field. I know from going through the community myself. I've raced door-to-door to a couple of these guys. I know of Todd and Rich, you also. Great field here. Like we said, watching through happy hour. A lot of grip out on the racetrack, and looks like we're in for a great show here. We're rolling off pit road here, which means we will take the green flag. Lights are out on the pace car as they roll off of turn 2. Guys getting their last tugs of the bell. Maybe a sip of drink here and ready to get focused. 100 laps around this speedway.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting race here tonight, Phil, as the Happy Holidays 200 is about ready to get underway. As we're down the back straightaway, they're setting a slow pace around the speedway, wondering what these drivers are what's going through their mind, what strategies they're going to use, what kind of pit stops, tires, what also kind of things that they have to go through tonight, what kind of wrecks they have to hit here. Hopefully we don't see any of those. I'd like to see some green flag pit stops all the way through. But sometimes it just don't happen.
All right, well, we're going to throw it to Rich for the green flag. Rich, it's all yours, bud.
10-4. These cars are coming around 3 and 4. Looks like the pace truck has pulled off the track. Cameras up on our first 6 cars as the green flag is going to drop, and we are underway at Michigan Winter.
We are off and running, off to the complete lap number 1. Pole sitter Sean Prime, the 015. He'll take the first lap lead officially here. 015 Sean Prime, Steve Powers a 532. He'll slot into the second spot as we get a race for the lead going toward turn 1.
Steve Powers came down low of the. Steve Powers was trying to move, and then it was the number 39 of Josh Metallic. He takes over that second spot as they're coming towards you, Racer.
Sean got the line there. They're all single file here through the top 2. Races for third here on the inside. You got David Day in the 5. Steve Powers in the 532 up high. They're side by side off turn 4. Put David Day in the 5 truck up to the third spot.
Yeah, side by side. David Day still continuing to be side by side with that 532 of Steve Powers, but there is also the 088 of Tim Nosker. He's sitting there side by side also with, I believe that is the 102 of Rusty Little.
Looks like a high-speed pace lap here as they head down the back straightaway. Big drafting session here, looking like a big Talladega Speedway here tonight. A lot of grip on the racetrack. Cars 2 wide, 10 rows deep as they head off turn 4. Sean Prime is still your race leader.
Now, I believe Sean Prime has lost that race lead to the number 39 of Josh Metallic. David Day muscles into second place in the number 5. Looks like he's going to dive low of the number 39 of Josh Metallic. He's got help on his rear bumper with the number 44 racer.
Slow truck on the inside appeared to be the 44 truck. 044 Corey Deal. He'll pull out a line. He's going to get to the back of the pack. Maybe some overheating issues there or something. A lot of jockeying back and forth here. This draft is 2 wide. It's 6-7 rows deep side by side. We're looking back up the front. Josh Metallic in the 39. He'll hold your race lead to David Day in the 5. The race looks like it's side by side for third as they head toward turn 1.
Josh Metallic continues to lead into turn number 1. David Day down there on the bottom, but there's more help for the 15 of Prime. He is going to actually shift to the bottom in front of David Day and help him along. Steve Powers is going to drop back.
So I'll move Prime up there to the second position. He'll try to take a run of the 39 here. They'll run single file down toward turn number 3. Single file them on the front 2. Side by side through the draft on the way back. It looks like Steve Powers a 532 up high. David Day in the 5. Looks like he'll sneak into that spot. So put the top 3 single file here as we'll come back to the line to put lap number 6 on the board. A lot of jockeying up at the front of the position. Everybody trying to get to that front of the line, and we're waiting for guys maybe to fall in line here. As it looks like we have a pass to lead up high.
Yeah, David Day went up high with the number 39 of Josh Metallic. He's got some help, but Sean Prime's got help with Steve Powers, but Powers goes up to the outside real quick, but he does pound the outside wall just a little bit.
So as you can see, side by side up for the race lead. Right now we'll put Josh Metallic, that white number 39, the Quicken Loan sponsored Chevrolet. He'll put that at the front of the field. As we'll come back, we'll put lap number 7 on the scoreboard. So Josh Metallic will be your race leader. We'll let it recycle through here. David Day in the 5. He'll currently running your second spot. Sean Prime, the 015. Steve Powers in the 532. And Tim Nofsker, the 088. They'll round out your top 5. Coming back from, I think, about the 10th starting spot, the 49 of Frank Divins. He'll find his way up to 6th.
Yeah, still watching this battle racer as they enter turn 3 as the number 15 of Sean Prime is down low. Steve Powers in the 532 is up high. And the 49 of Frank Divins tried to make it 3 wide there momentarily, but here comes the 088 of Tim Nosker down to the inside of the 532 of Steve Powers.
Yeah, Frank in the 49 here. He tried to make it 3 wide. Had to think better of that. Still all single file up near the front. About 3rd or 4th on back as the racing is. A lot of close racing here through the pack. I'm looking at probably 4 or 5 rows side by side, about 3rd or 4th on back. Great racing here down the back straightaway.
And Tim Nosker and the 532 of Steve Powers are still side by side with the 6 of Zach Freemow. Zach Freemow trying to help the 088 of Tim Nosker get by the 532 of Steve Powers, as it looks like he's going to do so. And Zach Freemow now side by side with the 532 of Steve Powers.
Looking back through that lead pack, looks like the top 21 trucks all maybe in tow with the race lead. But we'll call that 20 as they come past the start-finish line. Top 20 trucks separated by 2.5 seconds. Just to give you a glimpse of how the racing is here, a tight draft pack all the way around the racetrack. Josh Metallic at 39 is still your race leader, followed by David Day and Sean Prime. That's your top 3 into turn 3.
As the race lead, while you were announcing, had to change the 5 of David Day, slipped into the first spot. The 15 of Sean Prime followed suit. So did the number 088 of Tim Nosker. The 39 of Josh Metallic is dropping back real fast. As again, Tim Nosker in your third position. 532 of Steve Powers now moves into the fourth position, but the 39 of Josh Metallic is not going to let Steve Powers have that spot too easily, as they're still side by side going into 3. The 6 of Zach Freemow still on the back bumper. The 532 of Steve Powers. Also in the fray is the number...
I think that's a 59 of Herman Reese there, Todd, as you were talking. Now we're single file here. Looks like the top 4 trucks have sorted their way out single file. Looking back to the field here, David Day in the 5 scored that last lap as your race leader. Sean Prime, Tim Nosker in the 88. Your top 3. Looking back to the field, looks like we had 1 truck pull to the garage area. The 28 of Gord Quinn. We have a battle for the lead, Todd, off turn 4.
The number 15 of Sean Prime now claims the top spot as he went down underneath the 5 of David Day. Here comes the 532 of Steve Powers. He's going to capitalize on that door being wide open. He's going to take the second spot. Now we're side by side once again. Sean Prime goes to the high side. Here comes the 532 of Steve Powers. Powers going to power himself up into that first spot.
So 532 takes the race lead. Sean Prime there. Oh, big move. I believe that might be the 5 truck trying to swing it down on the inside in front of the 088. Great move there to look side by side here for second off of turn number 4. Steve Powers has your race lead. I believe it'd be David Day in the 5 and 15 Sean Prime. They're side by side for second off turn 4.
The 6 of Zach Freemow moves into the second spot now, has hooked a chain to the 532 of Steve Powers. Here comes Tim Nosker down to the inside of the number 6 of Zach Freemow. Freemow now up top with Prime, but looks like Tim Nosker now going to take the lead. He's going to do what I call a dirt slide job, but it's on an asphalt racer. And Tim Nosker, your new race leader.
Oh, big move there. Power move from third on to first here through that corner. You can see the draft is really, really helping these trucks out. They're able to pull out a line, make a big move like that. A lot of horsepower here with temps, with the chillier weather we got here. Trucks are really gripping the racetrack well, and as we come back to the line, looks like it's going to be Nosker here, and the number 088. He's going to hold your race lead. A lot of new names at the front. Zach Freeman, the 6, he's running second. Herman Reese, the 59. I haven't talked a lot about him. He's up currently running in the 4th spot. And looking through the top 10, I see Dave Melson, the 13. He was running back about 13th to 14th about 3 laps ago. He's cracked your top 10, currently 8th, as a lot of the field here is strung out towards single file, but we're looking at a race now for the second spot. Novsker's under pressure.
Yeah, that pressure is coming from the 532 of Steve Powers. He's down on the inside. He has help from the number 59. The 088 of Tim Nosker has help from the number 5 of David Day. Here comes the 39 of Josh Metallic. These guys, you could throw a blanket over these guys racing right now, and you wouldn't see a darn one of them.
Oh, absolute crazy action here. So the draft is really, really helping these things get a good pull. Out in the lead may not be the place to be. It looks like these guys are getting a really good suck. The draft really working well. Your race leader, the 6, Zach Freemow. Haven't seen him at the front of the leaderboard all night long. I think that was his first lap led. We're 15 laps into this 100-lap event, working lap 15. Steve Powers was scored as your second place car, but I believe that may have gone by the wayside. I believe the 088 of Nosker may be running in second here, as we'll reset the field here as they come off turn 4.
Yeah, it does look, Racer, like the 088 of Tim Nosker is running in that second spot. David Day is going to inch his way into the third spot over the 532 of Steve Powers. The number 59 of Herman Reese is running in 5th.
Well, David Day, I looked about a lap ago. He was in the 7th spot. Now he's pushed his high lane. He's the second car in line on the high side. He's currently showed as your third place car. They're side by side for the race lead. Looks like Nosker and the 088's down low. The 6 of Freemow up high. Steve Powers tucked in on the bottom here. Almost a 3 wide as David Day looked to peak in the middle. Working through turns 3 and 4. High speed action here. as we're probably, say, coming around to lap 16, we're looking at maybe about getting in that pit window of under 10 laps. So we may see some of these guys start pitting here real soon.
Yeah, indeed, you might see some of these guys roll off real quick and try to get some of that pit strategy, try to get some of them fresh tires. Not sure on the wear on the tires. Maybe we'll have to interview one of the drivers later on in the going to see what kind of wear they're getting out there. But the 088 of Tim Nosker is your current race leader. The 6 of Zach Freemile is running in second. Third right now is the 532 of Steve Powers, but he don't want to stay in third very long, as he did take a peek down to the inside of Zach Freemile.
A lot of great racing up front. Looking at back to the intervals, you have a top 19 trucks all in the lead pack, 2 seconds apart from first to 19th. Back to the field here with 21st position or 20th position, David Cannon, the 003. He's off the lead draft, about 9.5 seconds back, followed by the 7/10 of Manny Diaz. And Cy Jones on the 7. He's about half a lap away from seeing the clutches of the field here, but back up near the front, Hofsker and Freemau, hard racing as we go back toward the lead.
Yeah, it looks like they're going to remain single file going into 3, but that could change in a moment's notice, as right now Nosker still your leader. 6 of Zach Freemau is running second. I want to give a shout out to the number 65 of Larry Yeager Jr. He's been on the move, Phil. He's moving up through the field real quick.
Yeah, as he started week deep about the 20th position, he's worked his way into the top 10. Pretty much all single file through the first 3 or 4 rows. As I say that, Sean Prime in the 15, he'll look on the inside. That's about for the 4th spot. Underneath Josh Metallic, will that be for the 5th position. He'll get that righted. They'll fall back into line. They'll head single file back toward turn number 3.
David Day cuts down in front of the 15 of Sean Prime. It looked like momentarily he was going to take over the spot from the 39 of Josh Metallic, but he backs off wisely. Metallic still holds on to that 6th spot. Battle for the lead, Phil. The 6 of Zach Freemau gets underneath the 088 of Tim Nosker.
Freemau in the 6, he'll take the race lead. Little contact, we have a spin down the back straightaway. Looked like it was the 088 of Nosker and the 532 of Steve Powers. Maybe the 2 trucks involved. I do not see a yellow flag left here yet, but I did see contact among the top 2.
It does look like the pace lights are still off on that pace truck down there on pit road. Tough break for the 532 of Steve Powers and the 088 of Tim Nosker.
So we're going to stay under the green flag condition. The 6 of Zach Freemau. He was a lucky one there in that exchange, being away from the contact. He's going to keep towing your race lead. Herman Reese, the 59. He's worked his way from the top 5. He'll run runner-up spot here as we'll come back toward the start-finish line. Next time around, we'll click lap number 22 on the board.
Power move from the 15 of Sean Prime as he slips underneath the number 59 of Herman Reese. He takes that 2nd spot. Herman Reese falls back to 3rd.
Looking back, Corey Deal in the Ace Hardware Ford. He's worked his way up in the 4th spot in that 044. Seen him duck out of line here earlier just to maybe get out of traffic, let things cool down, let the truck come into him. He's got a big run here through turns number 1 and 2. He's currently running 4th. Single file through your top 5. They go down the back straightaway toward turn number 3.
6th place right now is the 39 of Josh Metallic. There is a battle for the 7th position between the number 5 of David Day and the number 9 of Matt Whale. Matt Whale's down the inside. David Day way up top. Still getting all kinds of momentum as he fights back side by side for that 7th spot.
Yeah, Matt Whale, we haven't talked much about him tonight. He's worked his way up from deep in the field. Now has worked his way into the top 5. Move him into position number 5. A battle for the race lead. Looks like Sean Prime in the 15 has found a way underneath the 6 of Freemount. They're side by side on the back straightaway. It looks like Sean Prime, your pole sitter, will once again take the race lead as they head toward turn 3.
Sean Prime continues to hold on the race lead, but here comes the number 59 of Herman Reese. He's going to capitalize on that door being wide open. He's going to take over that 2nd spot. He's going to slide up in front of the number 6 of Zach Freemount. Freemount looks like he's going to slip back quite a ways as here comes Corey Deal. Corey Deal runs into the 3rd spot, and now he's peeking to take a look for 2nd.
Yeah, looks like Freemount there in the 6. He got shifted out of line, and the bottom line just went right by him. Looks like he's got some help up high here now. They head down the back straightaway. Sean Prime, your race lead. Herman Reese to 59. They're still all side by side, jockeying up for second on back. They head toward turn 3.
Corey Deal side by side with the number 59 of Herman Reese. Deal has the advantage right now on the bottom group. The 59 of Herman Reese has no help. It looks like the 44 and a bunch of them are coming down for pit stops there.
Oh, I see some on the snowbank here as they come off turn 4. That can't be good. The yellow flag is on the speedway. A wreck here as they enter on the pit road. The Nat Mount Wall, he was one of the cars that into the snowbank. I can't imagine that could be good and may end your evening. So yellow flag here out on the speedway. And a tough break for the 6 of Zach Freemow. He was one of your race leaders. He was also involved on the wreck coming on the pit road. Looks like both of them trucks are tore up, and it may cut their night short here, 25 laps into this 100-lap feature. So we cycle back here under yellow. The current leaderboard, let it reset. Looks like it's Herman Reese, the 59 is your race leader. Dave Melson, I saw him about a lap or two ago. He made a nice move up the high side. He stayed out there, a couple of guys. Number 13, he'll be your second place car. And Larry Yeager, the 065 is your top 3. Wreck happening as guys were coming onto pit road to make their pit stop. And that will put us under the yellow flag. All right, let's start with the Rich. He's got the replay.
Yeah, guys, down here in the booth reviewing this, I want to let the fans know we do have live on the right-hand corner there, but just to go through exactly what happened with this team, it looked like the 6 and the 39 might have come together a little bit as they're trying to come in and make pits. They both get on the apron pretty good. Not sure exactly what happened between the two of them, but it looks like they just clipped the wall or something. Got piled up in that snow, and that's just going to ruin their night probably. Hopefully they get them trucks underway and get them fixed, but they're probably going to be out. Back to you guys.
All right, Rich, exactly. Couldn't say it better there. Them guys hit the snow, and it looks like instantly it might have cooked their motor. Heavy damage to each truck. I believe both trucks may have retired from the event. Let's see if we can't get one of these guys involved with the wreck and get them a copy.
Right now, your current race standings is the number 59 of Herman Reese. Second is the 13 of David Melson. Third is the 065 of Larry Yeager Jr. Fourth, the 10 of Terry Bombard. Fifth is the 49 of Frank Dibbins. Brian Ordo in the number 71. He's sixth. Seventh is the number 80 of Jeff Crivello. Eighth is the number 18 of David Lawson. Ninth, the 5 of David Day. 10th, the 088 of Tim Nosker.
All right, so thank you, Todd, for resetting the field here. Under caution was trying to get an interview with either Zach Fremont, the 6, Matt Whale, the 9. They both declined to be interviewed from the event, and they both have retired their truck for the evening. Also, a shout-out to a 28, Gord Quinn. He retired early in the event. Must be a mechanical issue. He also declined to be interviewed as well. So as we look like we have running here, we have 20 trucks left in the event here. David Cannon, the 003, showing a lap down. I'm showing 19 on the lead lap.
Yep, there's 19 on the lead lap. After pit stops now, it looks like the 710 of Manny Diaz is your current race leader. Not sure if he's going to take a pit stop or if he has some other kind of strategy. The 7 of Cy Jones sitting second. Third would be now the 59 of Herman Reese.
Lights are still on the pace car, so guys may come in here, take that little splash of fuel, maybe top off, maybe some more tires, get a little more handling on these trucks. Looks like I've been a lot of grip on the racetrack tonight. We've seen a great run there off to look like about the first cycle of pit stops. So my guesstimation here, they probably get about 24 to 30 to 28 laps there on a can of fuel. So unfortunately, under the yellow here is guys coming on the pit road, broke loose, got into that snow, and by the looks of that, snow is going to be an absolute no-no tonight. And get that all over, a lot of damage, maybe damage to the motor, and drivers out of the event. Tough break for them guys involved. As we're rolling under the yellow, about to click lap 28 on the board. Lights are still on. We're hoping to see one to go at the line. Scoring at the line, it shows Herman Reese as your race leader. Dave Melson in the 13 looks like he's outside, but we'll reset the field here at 1 to go. Also, for all of us watching out there on various outlets, DRTV, also on YouTube, you can see chat box on the right-hand side. Feel free to send us a message, interact with us, tell us what you're thinking about the event. Give us a shout-out, say hi to somebody. Tell us who you're cheering for and anything else you may have for us. It's an interactive event. We welcome you to get involved. We're here for you. We enjoy doing this here on DRTV. And, send those requests in, give us a shout, say hello, and we'll be sure to shout out to you. I know Rich has been closely monitoring that.
Yeah, I definitely have. And just to give a shout out back, Chris Rob's watching. He seems to be a Corey Deal fan right now. So good job, Corey. You got a fan out there watching, keeping involved in the chat box. Also see a couple of our other drivers that we're used to, Martin Karch and Adam Holm. Want to welcome you guys to the event. Hope you're enjoying the show. And for all you watching, we are watching that chat box. So if you want to get involved, ask questions to your drivers, let us know, and we'll try to get to you as soon as we can. Back to you, Phil.
All right, Rich. Lights are out on the pace car, so we will take the green next time around. Your race leader is a 59 of Herman Reese, followed by the 13 of Dave Melson. Double file restart here tonight. Larry Yeager, 65 will run third. Terry Bombard will run fourth. And Terry Bowman will be your top 5, as it looks like we're going to come to green. 28 laps will click, 29 on the scoreboard as they come to the flag.
Herman Reese and the 13 of Dave Melson get ready to lead him down to the green flag. Waiting on the starter. He's a little bit slow tonight, but a green flag is going to wave. It looks like Herman Reese didn't get as good of a start as Dave Melson, but Reese battles back on the bottom side as they come to turn 1.
Side by side for that race lead. Side by side, many rows back here. Double fire restart. Oh, the leader, 59, Herman Reese, he'll slide up high. Maybe slight contact there. They'll all right that ship off the 13 of Dave Melson. That allows the 65 there of Larry Yeager on the inside. Them two will drag race for second as they head down the back straightaway.
Takes these trucks a little bit to get up to speed at the Michigan International Speedway, as right now the battle looks like it's going to be the 65 of Larry Yeager. He's going to peak high. He's going to peak low of the 13 of Dave Melson. He's got the bottom and the preferred groove. Right now is that 65 machine.
Yeah, Larry looking down low. That race leader, Herman Reese, to 59. Keeping protected at low line there. They'll stack them up, make them go too wide. Back toward 1 and 2. Melson side by side with Yeager for second spot. Looking back, third on back, it looks like the 5, David Day, maybe sneaking in there. Terry Bombard, Terry Bauman at 69 on the 10. They're all there, top 6 or 7, fighting. They're single file headed to turn 3.
Terry Bauman in the 69 started shotgun on the field. It's amazing to see him up in 4th right now in that 69 machine. He is going to set his sights on the number 13 of Dave Melson, as the 65 of Larry Yeager got around him to get second. Now he's challenging for the lead with the 59 of Herman Reese.
Herman Reese up high in the 59. He's opened that door. Larry Yeager, the 065. He's going to look for that inside line through turns 1 and 2. Looks like he's going to take that spot. Little hit of the apron. He'll keep that righted. Looks like he's going to make clear. Larry Yeager Jr., the 065. He'll be your new race leader as they head down the back straightaway.
Here comes the number 13 of Dave Melson. He's going to peek to the inside of the 59 of Herman Reese there momentarily. But Herman Reese is going to power back on the high side because he's got help from the number 5 of David Day.
Looks like the lead may not be the place to be, as so much draft here. These guys pushing. Looks like Herman in the 59. He's got a lot of help up high from the 5 of David Day. Looks like the 71 also is in there. That's Brian Orto. Great run. They're almost 3 wide. Little sideways. They'll get that corrected. They head through turn 1 and 2. Keep Larry Yeager in that 65 out in the race lead. Herman Reese has now poked his way back into the second spot. And we'll put David Day in the 5. He's up to the third spot. He's looking low for second in turn 3.
David Day in the number 5 dives low of the 59 of Herman Reese. He's going to make short work of him. He's going to take over that second spot. Now Herman Reese has another challenge from the 13 of David Melson.
Dave Melson in the 13. He's down low off of turn number 4. Looks like he can't get the better of that. Runners look like they're drafting help up high. Herman Reese looks like he's going to close that door as there's help down low. And the 088, Tim Nosker, he's under attack there. He'll move into the 4th spot, looking for 3rd as they head through turn 1 and 2.
Remember, the 088 of Tim Nosker was involved in an early race incident that did not bring out a yellow, but he's worked his way back up to that 4th spot. Now he's going to challenge for 3rd, but he's also got to play a little bit of defense as here comes the 13 of Dave Melson down to the inside of the 088 of Tim Nosker. They're side by side.
Looks like that 3rd truck in line gets a really, really good toe off into that corner. A nice big suction there. Dave Melson here, he'll make the pass to Nosker. They're side by side. That's running for 4th as they'll click lap 34. We're 1/3 of the way through the event here on the scoreboard. And we have a battle for the race lead up there. It looks like David Day may be attacking the 065 as they're side by side off turn 2.
Still watching the battle that we were just watching before you mentioned the battle for the lead is the 15 of Sean Prime dove way low, made it 3 wide. It was a real interesting change of events back there as the 088 of Tim Nosker moves into the 2nd spot, but the 065 of Larry Yeager goes back down to the inside of the 5 of David Day.
Yeah, there's no sitting back in this event whatsoever. Almost looking like a high-speed pace lap again. They were 2x2, 4 or 5 rows deep. Looks like they may have righted that ship. Looks like they're 3 wide for the race lead. That's Larry Yeager, David Day, and Tim Nosker, the 088. Nosker down low. He'll make it 3 wide. Looks like he may skirt out the race lead, but never fear. They're still side by side off turn 2.
Wow, lots of slicing and dicing up front as the 65 of Larry Yeager Jr. still holding on to that lead by slimmest of margins as here comes the 088 of Tim Nosker back down to the inside of David Day and the 65. 3 wide again back towards 3rd, 4th, and 5th.
Yeah, it was Sean Prime, and the 015 was 3 wide. Dave Melson was in the middle, and Herman Reese in the 59. They were 3 wide, running for the 4th spot, but they'll right that ship. They're still 2 wide toward turn number 1. Larry Yeager under fire, but he's holding on to the race lead, and still side by side. We have Tim Nosker, David Day, side by side for the 2nd position, and they're 2x2 on back.
Here comes the 088 of Tim Nosker peeking down to the inside of the 5 of David Day. They're all 3 wide, 2 wide. They're all strung out through the field. You've seen the 49. The 49 of Frank Dibbins there momentarily was in the middle, but he backed out there towards 5th, 6th, and 7th. The 49 of Frank Dibbins was putting on a show, but here comes Tim Nosker trying to get a run. That 3rd place truck seems to get a huge run on these guys, but David Day, battle for the lead.
David Day will look inside under Larry Yeager. They head back into turn 1. Give it to David Day. He'll take that spot. Now looking inside here, the 088, Tim Nosker. He's got the big draft on the inside. Looks like he's going to punch his ticket into the position number 2. And they'll be side by side for 3rd on back. Sean Prime there down low. Larry Yeager, the 065 is up high. And it looks like we've got more trucks entering this fray. The 39 of Josh Metallic. He's found his way back amongst the top group.
Yeah, Josh Metallic working his way up, and now he's going to challenge for that 4th position. He's trying to get around the 065 of Larry Yeager Jr. The 15 of Sean Prime moves into 3rd. The 088 of Tim Nosker comes way down the track to try to do a move on the 15 of Sean Prime, but Prime going to peek his nose down to the inside. They're side by side for 2nd.
Well, you can see these guys in the top 2 or 3. They're trying to get single file, maybe break away. That pack is definitely not going to let them. Every time something settles down, somebody will pull out a line. They are side by side, 2 rows deep, about 4 rows worth as they're headed toward turn number 3. Too close to qual. There's a battle for 3rd, there's a battle for 5th all over the speedway. Great action here for the Michigan National Speedway here on DRTV. Your race leader as we come back to put lap 39 up on the scoreboard appears to be the 5 truck of David Day.
2nd right now is Sean Prime, but not for long. Here comes the 39 of Josh Metallic down to the inside. They're side by side through 1 and 2. Josh Metallic has the advantage coming out of 2 down the back chute, but here comes Sean Prime motoring back on the top shelf of the speedway.
Yeah, Sean Prime, a lot of power there tonight. We saw he was fast, setting tonight's quick time to be the pole sitter. Side by side with Josh Metallic there for the 2nd position. David Day in your 5. He's out there in the lead. He's looking in his mirror with a big grin on his face saying, guys, you just have at it behind you. I'll just let you push me up here at the lead draft. We're coming back here lap number 40 on the scoreboard as they head off back into turn number 1.
Here comes Josh Metallic. David Day's no longer grinning it because Josh Metallic's down to the bottom side of him. The number 5 up on top. Here comes Josh Metallic. Metallic's going to pull into the lead off of 2, but David Day battling back on the high side by side by side. Those top 6 side-by-side racers hard to call right now.
Oh, absolutely. Give a shout out here to the 95, Dave Earlywine. He started back in the field. He's up battling in that third spot. He's alongside Sean Prime, who we know has got a lot of power, and also now sneaking the 49 of Frank Divins. He's cracked that top 5 down low as they're jockeying position still here. Metallic still with your race lead. David Day on the outside of the 5. He'll be runner-up spot. And now Dave Earlywine, the 95 on the inside. He's looking to battle for that second position.
Dave Earlywine side by side with the 5 of David Day. Frank Divins side by side with the 15 of Sean Prime. Those are your top 2, 3, 4, 5. Right now they are sitting with a blanket. You could throw over them and you could just not see him. Here comes David Day to the top side of the speedway. The 39 of Josh Metallic. Not going to let him get there that easy. Looks like David Day may pull a crossover move, maybe not.
No, not able to make that top 3 single file as they head back toward the start-finish line toward turns number 1. Josh Metallic, the 39, with your race lead. David Day trying to pull out. I don't think he's going to get there. He may get there. And good battle here off of turn number 2. Looking back through the field, trucks side by side all over the speedway. The lead draft is 16 trucks deep, separated by 1.2 seconds. Close racing action here. Looks like all square for the race lead, but the battle is on for second on back off turn 4.
Dave Earlywine takes over that second spot. Sean Prime down to the inside of the 39 of Josh Metallic. They're side by side down the front straightaway. Metallic is all by himself right now up to the top side. He needs some help up there, and here comes the 088 to help him. That's Tim Nosker. Here comes Sean Prime, but also now a new battle for the lead is the 95 of Dave Earlywine. Dives to the inside of David Day, but he's going to drift back up the track.
Oh, contact on through 5th on back. They'll get that sorted out. Tim Nosker there. He got a little sideways. He's going to lose spots. The 13, Dave Melson, goes by toward the latter part of the top 10. In the meanwhile, back at the front, David Day in the 5. Looks like he's the Pied Piper here coming off of turn number 4. They're still side by side for second on back. There is hot and heavy action all over the speedway in this front pack. 1.4 seconds last time by through the top 16 trucks. We're showing 18 on the lead lap. Hot and heavy here back through turn 1 and 2.
The 39 of Josh Metallic battling back on the high side of the 95 of Dave Earlywine. The 49 of Frank Divins is following Josh Metallic, beating on his rear bumper, but here comes Sean Prime. He's going to make a 3 wide going into corner number 3.
Sean Prime with the big move there. Move him up toward position number 2. As there's still 2, maybe 3 wide off of turn number 4. Trucks littered all over the speedway, but back at the front, David Day, as we put lap 45 up on the scoreboard. 55 laps to go in your Happy Holidays 200 here on DRTV from our friends at Rolling Thunder Gaming here tonight. Great racing action all over the speedway. David Day in the 5. He is your race leader, and they are side by side in a gaggle. Throw a blanket over them, whatever cliche you can say. They're 2-3 wide as they go down the back straightaway, and they're headed toward turn 3, Todd.
It looks like Dave Earlywine in that number 95 machine bounced it off the wall. He's going to slip way back from where he was running. The 15 of Sean Prime running second. The 49 of Frank Divins running third right now unchallenged. But that's not going to last very long because here comes the 69 of Terry Ballman. He's entering the fray now.
Yeah, you mentioned Dave Earlywine, the 95. Maybe got that off the outside wall. Lap before he scored in the third spot. He's going to come by this time by in the 10th position just to show you how close the competition is up here tonight. David Day, your race leader in the 5. Sean Prime, the 015. Frank Divins, the 49. Terry Bauman, the 69. And Josh Metallic, the 39. That was scored last time by as your top 5. All looks like all well. We get a race for the lead off turn 4, Todd.
Looks like the 015 of Sean Prime is going to get around David Day. He slides up in front of him. Crossover maneuver from the number 5 of David Day. He's going to try to get back to that top spot. Frank Divins in third, trying to push the 015 of Sean Prime to the lead, and he's going to do so. David Day is going to fall back to third.
Yeah, that high line got the big shove into turn number 1 there. Sean Prime will take your race lead. Frank Divins, the 49. He's got your second spot. He's under attack. Here's David Day in that 5. A lot of speed in that truck tonight. He's side by side. Looks like Frank's going to inch away with some help through the draft on the high side. They work their way to turn number 3 and 4. Sean Prime, the 015. He's a race leader. And David Day, he'll sneak in there with a big push from the inside. He'll roll into your second spot. And Frank Divins will drop kick back to the third spot as they work past the start-finish line and toward turn number 1.
battle for that 4th position right now. Josh Metallic down to the inside of the 69 of Terry Bauman as they hit the outside wall. Here comes Terry Bauman to the 4th position, but the 39 is going to have none of it. He's battling side by side down to the inside. The 39 of Josh Metallic still side by side with the 69 of Terry Bauman.
Yeah, it was a race for 4th, back up near the front. Sean Prime getting dropped, kicked up high by the 5 of David Day. He's going to find himself back toward the front as we're a lap away from the halfway mark. Going to come put 49 on the board this time by Frank Divins. He's going to rock into the number 2 spot. Sean Prime, the 015, very strong run tonight in that RTG truck. He's going to run on the 3rd spot. It's your top 3. They're 3 wide behind.
3 wide is the 44 of Corey Deal. Made a 3 wide there momentarily. He's going to try to take over that 4th spot from the 39 of Josh Metallic. They were side by side momentarily, but Josh Metallic motoring on the high side with drafting help from the 69 of Terry Bauman.
It's a great action up here toward the front. David Day, got your race leaders side by side, second on back. Got the names there at the front. Let's give a shout out here as we roll through this event. And we're at the halfway mark. Rolling through your top 10, David Day in the 5, Frank Divins the 49, Sean Prime the 015, Josh Metallic in the 39, and Corey Deal the 044. They're scored as your top 5. They're side by side in the turn 1. Sean Prime on the inside of Frank Divins. That's the battle for second as they head off turn number 2.
Sean Primes is going to move into that 2nd spot and take it away from the 49 of Frank Divins. There is now a battle, still a battle for that 4th spot. I'm amazed by all the slicing and dicing going around here. Good, clean racing here at Rolling Thunder Gaming.
While we got the top 3 all single file, let's give a shout out to some guys running just outside the top 10. Running in the 11th spot, the 71, Brian Ordo. He's kept his nose clean. We've seen him come to the front of the field. He's riding back in an 11th spot. Rusty Little, the 102, he'll ride 12th. Larry Yeager, we've seen him at the front. He's currently 13th. And Jeff Crivello, the 4th, is running 14th. Terry Bombard in the 10 truck, he'll run at your top 15. Rounding up the lead draft, we have David Lawson on the 18. And Dave Early, when we've seen him up at the front of the field, he's currently running 17th as we're under green flag pit stops, Todd.
Yeah, the number 710 did come down pit road. That's Manny Diaz. He looks like he took 4 tires and a 2 full cans of Sunoco Racing Fuel. He's going to drop the jack, and he's away down through pit road as he's going to be entering the speedway once again. So he's the first one that I've seen down on pit road.
Yellow flag on the speedway. Look like we may have had an incident here entering pit road. Was following the leaders, the 15 of Sean Prime, the 49 of Frank Divins, the 39 of Josh Metallic. The top 3 they had yet to stop yet, along with the top 6 or 7 trucks. Looks like maybe the top dozen. Looks like somebody may have expired a motor. We'll try to get a number on that entry. Looks worded. Looks like the 102 of Rusty Little may have expired an engine. We're going to roll back here through the replay and see if maybe there was an incident or something just happened, or maybe the motor just let go. Tough break for Rusty Little on that 102. So another yellow here, just past the halfway mark, 52 laps up on the scoreboard. Guys are just in the middle of their green flag pit stops here through the second wave. Our second yellow here as they got the green flag stops. Tough break for these guys out renting pit road. The good news is the Michigan International Speedway being the big 2-mile track, a guy coming to pit road may not lose a lap. We're going to have Rich go under the controls here, try to find the replay. Looks like there may have been an incident. The 102 with Rusty Little, we can say he's down on power as he's rolled on the pit road. I think the 13 of Dave Melson may have also been involved, showing 16 trucks on the lead lap as we currently speak. Tough break for them guys that come to pit road. Well, the 5 of David Day, he's one of those cars that got trapped here. It may cycle out for him. I believe Rich may have the replay. Rich, we'll throw it over to you.
Yeah, most definitely. It looks like the 13 got the bum rap on this one. As you can see here, we got the 13 listed out on the track, and he's going to come in and try to make a pit. Unfortunately, as we mentioned earlier today, that snowbank does not play very nice, and as you can see, the 13 comes in, gets a little loose, and just catches the corner of the snow and buries that truck. And that's probably going to end his night tonight.
Tough break for Dave Melson. He had a good truck. Let's see if we can't get a word with him. I think he's going to be retired from the event. Tough break here for the 13 of Dave Melson. Dave, it's Rich, Todd, and Phil in the booth. You have a copy.
Yeah, all right, gotcha.
Dave had a great truck here tonight. The 13, tough to see something happen on pit road there coming to the field. What were you seeing out there tonight, and what put you out of the event?
Oh, the racing was good. The truck was running really good. It was just bad move me coming in the pits and not coming in too hot and couldn't control it enough to keep away from the wall. It was still a written wall.
Yeah, 10-4 to that. Had a great run out there tonight. Was there a lot of grip on the racetrack? It looks like guys were able to go high, low, make that move. Looked like there was a lot of speed out there. I mean, we've seen many guys up near the front of the field. And what was your view from the cockpit?
Oh, definitely lots of grip out there, right from the green right through the end when you have to pit. But it's just give and take. You just got to be careful around you. You get 3 wide, it gets a little nerve-wracking. So sometimes you got to back out of it, and sometimes you go for it.
I absolutely couldn't agree more. Great racing out there tonight. We're tough to see you out of the event. Definitely had a good piece out there. Up there, you started about mid-pack. You got up there and mixed it up there for the race lead for a little while. And, anybody you'd like to shout out to here tonight?
Yeah, I'd like to thank RTG for putting on the event and thank you guys here for broadcasting it. It's a fun deal for everybody to have fun.
Well, it's a big 10-4 to that. Dave, thanks for a couple of words, and we're sorry about your luck, and we hope to see you back here on DRTV real soon.
Thank you very much.
All right, Todd, that was Dave Melson, your 13. We're going to bruise back on through here the pack and let you reset the field.
Resetting the field right now, the current running order is the 10 of Terry Bombard. That may change at the line because he did make a pit stop, so I'm going to wait to see if everything changes at the line. Phil.
All right, well, we've got one to go on the speedway. Let's get a quick word here with the 71 of Brian Otto. He's kept himself out of trouble all night long. Brian Otto, it's Rich, Todd, and Philip in the booth. You have a copy.
You hear me?
Yes, Brian. Good to hear from you, bud. Having a great run out there tonight, keeping it out of trouble. A lot of back and forth racing up through the pack. What are you seeing out there?
Well, a lot of cutting off, and guys want to get to the front as quick as they can. I'm just trying to hold my place as best as I can.
Well, you're having a great run out there tonight. Wanted to give you a shout out for your great work. You gave us some great pictures there from a cockpit. Racing's been hot and heavy. I know you got one to go. We'll let you get back on the speedway. Wanted to give you a shout out. You're doing a great job, and good luck the rest of the evening.
Thank you, guys. Merry Christmas to everybody.
You too, bud. Good luck. That's Brian Orton, the 71. Todd, we'll let you reset the field here as we've taken one to go.
As we're going down the back straightaway of the field right now, your current race leader is a 49. That's Frank Divins. The 015 of Sean Prime, been strong all night. He's second. Third is the 39 of Josh Metallic. Fourth, the 532 of Steve Powers. Fifth is the 69 of Terry Bauman. Remember, he started deep in the field. Sixth is the 59 of Herman Reese. Seventh is the 71 of Brian Ordo, who we just interviewed. Eighth is the number 80. That's Jeff Corello. Ninth is a 065 of Larry Yeager Jr. And 10th right now is a 088 of Tim Nosker. As it looks like we're getting ready to go back to green flag racing.
Field 2x2, double file restart here tonight. Looking for that green flag. We'll click lap 56 up on your scoreboard. The green flag is out. Frank Divins with the 49, Sean Prime with the 15. They'll take it side by side as the drafting show is on back toward turn number 1.
Drafting show is indeed on. It looks like the 015 of Sean Prime got the better start of the two front guys. The 49 of Frank Divins, though, is going to battle back down there on the inside in that Domino's machine. Boy, that machine's making me hungry. As here comes the 49 of Frank Divins. He's going to slide up the track and take over that top spot from the 15.
Big wiggle off for turn number 2 that time from that truck, fourth in line. Trying to see the number. I believe that might have been the 532 with Steve Powers. Got loose there on the high side. They'll be all single file top 5. Looking sixth on back. Brian Order, the 71. We just talked to him. He's side by side for 6 as they look like they may get dicey up near the front.
Yeah, Brian Ordo's going to take that 6th spot, but Terry Bauman in the 69, he's going to drift up the track. That's going to open up the door for the 71 of Brian Ordo and the 532 of Steve Powers. Let's see if Terry Bauman can hold it on. He has no help on the top side. Bauman's going to slip up the track. Here comes the 532 of Powers. He's going to make the move, and here comes the 71 of Brian Ordo. They're side by side for 5th.
Side by side for 5th into turn number 3. Ordo down low. Bauman up high. They'll get better at that spot. Move Ordo into the top 5. He's going to look on the inside now. I believe that might be the 39 truck of Josh Metallic. It's up there running in the 4th position with the 532 of Steve Powers there as well. They're single file. Top 4 of 5 up there. We got moved to the inside toward turn 1.
Josh Metallic made a power move down to the inside of the 015. They touch. The 015 is now going to slide all the way back. It looks like the 39 of Josh Metallic touched with the 015 of Sean Prime. Prime is going to slip all the way back.
Yeah, Sean's going to slip to the end of the draft. That might be back toward the lead lap 16th position here. We had 16 in the lead pack. Seeing Sean, I'm looking at Sean drifting on back. He's going to hold on to that draft. Hopefully no damage to that machine as they're working their way back down around the speedway. And let's check in for the race lead as they head toward turn 1.
Dibbin still continuing to be your leader. The 71 of Brian Ordo was challenging momentarily for 2nd, but he's got hot and heavy challenges from the 532 of Steve Powers. Powers was on the outside, but Brian Ordo's going to maintain that 3rd spot.
And 69 of Terry Bauman, he's in there as well. He's currently running 4th on that inside line. Looks like the draft and the pushes from the high lane as they head into turn number 3. Top 3, all single file. The race is for 4th between Steve Powers and 69 of Terry Bauman. Little bit of contact through 3rd and 4th. They'll get that started out. And they're 3 wide for 4th on back. And we also got a battle for the race lead.
Battle for the race lead is up front right now with the 39 of Josh Metallic. He peeked down to the inside of the 49 of Frank Divins. Divins slams the door shut. Here comes Brian Ordo. Battle for 2nd. Ordo on the top side of the speedway trying to get around the 39 of Josh Metallic, and it looks like he's going to, no, maybe not do so yet. They're still side by side.
Looks like he may have the push going into turn number 3. Little bit of contact. Nothing that's going to take the handle away from the truck. They're side by side also behind him there. Get the push from the inside line. Metallic's going to have help now from the 88 of Novsker. He's running 4th. He's going to look under the 71 of Ortho as they move down through the front straightaway. A lot of hot, heavy action here. And now we get Steve Powers in the 532. He's looking to make that 3 wide on the outside in the turn 1.
3 wide, still continuing to be 3 wide. Steve Powers wisely backs out of it in that 532 machine. Josh Metallic still on the bottom. They're still side by side with the 71 of Brian Ordo. Ordo trying to capitalize on that top spot, but 39, that's the shortest way around the track. Josh Metallic is in that bottom groove.
That's right, you got that bottom groove all sorted out. Side by side here for 2nd on back. Coming to the line, we're going to put lap 62 up on the scoreboard. Powers here looking back in the 3rd spot. They're going to go 3 wide up through the middle here. He's going to look for that race to 3rd, putting Ordo up high in the 71. Novsker's down low. Looks like Steve's going to make that stick. Maybe he's going to hold that high lane. Novsker looks like he may win the drag race off of turn number 2. They're still side by side for 3rd as they head down the back straightaway.
Side by side, Tim Novsker down on the inside. The 532 of Steve Powers, who made an awesome move there on the top side of the speedway. Brian Ordo going way high. Looks like he's going to back out of it a little bit. Powers sideways. He's going to slam the outside wall.
Little contact there for Powers, and it looks like maybe Novsker in the 088. Steve's going to get that righted. He's going to slip back to the end of the draft, it looks like. He'll get that worked out. As we check back in up toward the race lead, Frank Divins, the 49, he was scored as your race leader last time by. Josh Metallic in 39 and Tim Novsker in the 88. They're your top 3 scored last time by as they head down the back straightaway.
Terry Bauman right now is in 4th in that 69 machine. Corey Deal back up in the top 5 with that 044 machine. Here comes Josh Metallic down to the inside of Frank Divins. They're side by side. Metallic looks like he has a slight advantage coming off of 4.
Yeah, he's got drafting help for that 088, Tim Novsker. He's currently running 3rd. He's going to slide it to the inside. He's going to fight Divins for that 2nd spot. They're side by side heading toward turn 1. Josh Metallic's got your race lead. Great door-to-door action. Might have been a hip check there headed toward turn number 1. Frank Divins, the 49, into the outside wall. There was definitely contact there with the 088. Yellow flag is on the speedway.
Yeah, there was definitely contact between the 088 of Tim Nosker and the 49. Not sure what happened there. They might have got loose. They might have pushed up the track. It might have been a racing deal. We're not sure, but the 49 of Frank Divins did spin out and pound the outside wall. So tough break for the 49 Domino's machine.
Oh, heavy damage to the front and the rear of that truck, as it was hard on the outside wall. It was definite contact with the 088. Looks like he hit it hard with the right side and many revolutions around in the spin. Rich I'm sure is going to have that here showing on the replay in the control booth here, and a tough break for Frank Devins in the 49. He was fast up near the front of the field all night, and we'll throw it down to Rich. I think he's got your replay.
Yeah, most definitely down here in the booth. We queued up the replay for you, and once again, DRTV likes to show this out in slow motion here. So here we are watching the 088 and the 49 of Frank Divins on the top side. They do make a little bit of contact. Gets the 49 a little loose. Looks like he almost saves it, but the rear end's going to come around on him and slams him into the wall, and he's going to get quite a bit of damage out of that one. So looks like the 49 got the worst of that one, and it basically started with the 049 and 49. Back to you guys.
Right now, before they get to the line, your current race leader is the 39 of Josh Metallic. Tim Nosker is second with the 088. Corey Deal is third. Fourth would be Terry Bauman. But the 39 of Josh Metallic, and here come a whole gaggle of cars down pit road. Looks like they're going to get some service on their machines, get probably 4 fresh tires and 2 cans of fuel just so they can try to make at least one more pit stop here. Looks like they were going about 25 to 30 laps on a tank of fuel, so maybe they can get just one more pit stop. A lot of these Michigan races end in fuel mileage runs.
Oh, I couldn't agree with you more on we're 2/3 of the way through the event. We'll click 67 laps on the scoreboard. So you think another 2 to 3 laps here, maybe another 2 under yellow with lap cars, and you think with a green flag, maybe in that window of 30 laps, can they stretch it that far? I think we've seen 24 to 28. Maybe some guys out there be better on fuel, maybe safe for that green run. It looks like we're going to be shaping up for maybe one more stop. Maybe some guys won't stop again and maybe roll the dice. We're looking at maybe a great finish shaping up here, Todd.
Yeah, it looks like Tim Nosker in the 088 stayed out just to try to save the extra ounce or 2 of gas in that machine. He might be one of those guys. If we get a green flag run, you might see him clutching it and saving it for a fuel run and tried to win this race on fuel mileage. Also, Corey Deal in the 044 stayed out.
Going back onto the field, like to pull some guys into the event. Let's see if we can get on the radio the 80 of Jeff Crivello, who's having a great run tonight. Jeff, it's Rich, Todd, and Phil in the booth. You have a copy.
Yep, go ahead, guys.
Jeff having a great run out there tonight in that beautifully prepared number 80 truck. Great racing all around the speedway. What are you seeing there from the cockpit?
Until now, a lot of traffic, and it's just some really just awesome racing. Seems like there are only blown motors really are causing the yellows, but overall, it's some great racing.
Now we're talking here in the booth here. It looks like if we get the green flag, it'll be about 30 laps to go in the event. Our guesstimation is the fuel window tonight has been 24 to 26, maybe as high as 28 laps. Is that an accurate reading from us here in the booth as it is down in the truck, or do you think you may be able to get to the end on fuel?
Definitely have to make a stop. I think if you push it really hard, you're probably a solid 24, and if you can get back in some traffic and draft a bit, you can save a bit, but you're looking at about, 24 to 25, especially getting towards the end when people are just going to be pushing it as hard as they can.
Well, we'll keep an eye out, because you said if they're going to be about 4 or 5 laps short on fuel, may keep an eye for them guys in the lead part of the draft there, see if they're squeezing out, maybe trying to save those laps. But on a big speedway like a 2-mile here in Michigan, that may be a big task to save 4 or 5 laps of fuel. But Jeff, I wanted to say great run so far tonight. You guys are putting on such a great show. A lot of great action at the front. Looks like the track's got a lot of grip in it tonight. Guys up high, down low. Looks like you can go out anywhere and pass, and the draft is being a big game. So anybody like to give a shout-out to while we got you here in the booth?
Just give a big shout-out to Dave Cannon and Terry Bauman and the whole RTG gang for putting this together and picking a good track, good mod and a good setup, and the best to them. And I thank them immensely.
Yeah, we echo that exactly. Jeff, best of luck the rest of the evening, and we hope to talk to you here soon at the end of the event. Good luck.
Thank you.
All right, Todd, that's Jeff Crivello on the 80. He's having a great run there tonight. He's kept it out of trouble about the latter part of the top 10, riding around that 10th spot. And instead, it's been a lot of slicing and dicing there, the draft, and trying to keep yourself out of trouble. And now as we get toward the latter half of the race, and down about 30 laps to go here as we get to the green, you know, a lot of strategy will come into play here. Is maybe looking at that fuel window, and looks like maybe one more stop.
We're looking at the 49 right now of Frank Divins after that wreck and melee into the outside wall. Frank Divins looks like he has a lot of damage on the rear of his truck. Going to be interesting to see how loose that's going to make him, as it looks like they were already just a little tad loose with the setup, but with it being bashed up like that, the 49 of Frank Divins is going to have a handful of steering wheel. He's got right side damage on that 49 machine, so tough break for the 49. As I'm going to reset the field right now, the number 80 of Jeff Crivello is your current race leader. The 39 of Josh Metallic is second. Third is the 015 of Sean Prime. Fourth, the 71 of Brian Ordo. Fifth is the 044 of Corey Deal. Sixth, the 69 of Terry Ballman. Seventh is number 10 of Terry Bombard. Eighth is the 59 of Herman Reese. Ninth is the 532 of Steve Powers. 10th is the 065 of Larry Yeager Jr. 11th is the 003 of David Cannon. 12th, the 49 of Frank Divins. 13th, the 088 of Tim Nosker. 14th, David Lawson. 15th, David Day. 16th, Manny Diaz. 17th, the 95 of Dave Earlywine. And 18th, the last car running 2 laps down, is the number 7 of Cy Jones. His green flag flies, and Jeff Crivello has your current lead.
Well, the race is on to turn 1. Jeff Crivello on that 80 down low. He'll be your race leader as they enter turn number 1. Sean Prime, the 015, he restarted third on that inside line. It looks like that's a preferred spot to be as they work their way off turn number 2. Move Sean to that second spot. Drop kick Josh Metallic into 39 back to third. Looks like they're going to be side by side for fourth on back as they head toward turn 3.
Battle for fourth there momentarily. Bombard looked down to the inside of Brian Ordo, but Ordo made a power move to the inside of Josh Metallic. Ordo going to claim that third spot. Might get a run on the 015 of Sean Prime, but yellow flag's going to fly out there on the speedway once again.
Looks like it might have been the 49 Frank Divins that could have been involved. We'll roll back here through the replay, see if we can't find the culprit for this yellow.
Looks like the 49 of Frank Divins had a handful of steering wheel, like we were talking about before when we were talking about how damaged his truck was. This back end just stepped out on him in that 49 machine. Looks like some of the other guys were innocent bystanders in that wreck.
Sure, Rich has got the controls in. I'm going to throw it down to Rich. Rich has got your replay. Show us what happened.
Yeah, definitely. Once again, here in the DRTV replay, we're keeping our eye on the 49 of Frank Divins. Believe what caused most of this, even though there was a couple cars back behind him that also seemed to go. Just gets a little loose. The rear end slowly drifts out from under him right in front of a couple other trucks. They obviously swerved to miss him, and it looks like that's going to get them tangled up. Good news is I don't think Frank did any more damage to his truck other than flat spotting some tires. Bad news is we got another caution. Back to you guys.
So right around under the yellow flag, lap 71 of the event here. Think about under this yellow now. We heard a fuel window is about 24, 25 laps. So getting down to the tail end, we'll be looking at green with about 26 to go. So that may bring somebody coming out on field to run this event out. So Todd, it looks like we may have a big fuel strategy call on our hands here as I see guys going around the speedway. I can hear a lot of clutching going on. So fuel is definitely in the back of these guys' mind as they prance around under yellow.
Fuel is definitely going to be in their mind right now. That would be a big win to win on fuel strategy, is that's part of the game, is just trying to get your strategies right, trying to play your cards right, trying to put yourself in a position to win the race. But right now it does sound like a lot of these guys out there are clutching. I would almost wait till about another lap around caution, Phil, and I would almost try to go down pit road and try to make it the rest of the distance.
Well, I couldn't really agree with you more on that one, and definitely going to be a fuel strategy race here the rest of the event. Looking through the field, see if we can't get word with somebody in the booth here. One of the heavy hitters here early in the event was the 5 of David Day. Let's see if we can't get it on the radio. David Day, it's Rich, Phil, and Todd up in the booth. You got a copy?
Sure do.
David, you've had a strong piece all night long. Led a lot of laps there in the early going. Really strong piece. A lot of great racing up there. You've gone back and forth through the field. Tell us what you're seeing out there tonight.
Just a lot of good hard racing like usual. I mean, it's basically just keep it clean and get in the right line when you make your move, and you should be all right.
Yeah, 10-4 to that. Now we're seeing here the fuel window probably about 24 to 26 laps here. We're getting awfully close to that here under this yellow. What's your strategy here going out? I mean, you got to stop one more time. You think you got enough fuel? What's your run going to be here?
Yeah, I can't give away my strategy really, but definitely one more stop, and basically you're going to see a lot more 3 wide because, yeah, it's definitely time to go. So, like I said, I mean, these guys are all good racers. Mondays have been amazing, so it'll be pretty insane.
Now, I've seen you enter on and off pit road under green with no problems at all, but we've seen also 2 yellows here happen as green flag pit stops. We're about to begin. I mean, is the entrance on the pit road here tonight a tricky spot? I mean, it looks like there's a lot of grip on the racetrack. Is there a transition coming off the banking? Guys are getting loose. We've seen a couple of guys end up in the snow. I mean, what is it like from your vantage point?
Yeah, the snow covers that end point there, and a couple guys got shafted by that. So we'll definitely keep it off of that. Hopefully there's no incidents going into the pits, and if we can keep it green, we'll see.
All right, David, thank you for a couple of words with us, and good luck the rest of the night. You've got a great piece out there, and go get it. Bring that thing back to the front.
All right, thanks, guys.
All right, David Day in the 5. He's had a great night, and Todd will let you reset the field here. It looks like about 26, 27 laps to go here as we get back toward the green.
And just an interesting fact, as I heard him talk, and you could hear his motor in the background, it sounded like he was clutching it down there on the bottom. So that might be part of his strategy. He may not want to tell us, but you kind of can hear him. Right now, your current race order is the 80 of Jeff Crovello. The 015 of Sean Prime sits there in that second spot. Third is the 71 of Brian Ordo. Fourth is the 39 of Josh Metallic. Fifth is the 532 of Steve Powers. Sixth is the number 5 of David Day. Seventh is the 065 of Larry Yeager Jr. Eighth is the 95 of Dave Earlywine. Ninth is the 003 of David Cannon. 10th is the 18 of David Lawson. 11th is the 710 of Manny Diaz. 12th, the 59 of Herman Reese.
Looking back through those trucks, they're half a lap from the green flag. A couple of them trucks got damaged in that wreck early on back. I see the Dave Earlywine there in the 95. He picked up some damage on that wreck. And David Cannon, the 03, I see damage on that truck. The 065, the 18 as well. So the 710 Manny Diaz, he's also got some damage back there. So a lot of guys through that last wreck there. Frank got loose in front of the field and stacked them all up, and guys got spun around. Hopefully not too much damage here, as the racing here has been phenomenal here tonight throughout the top 10 or 15 here, and looks like a strong field of trucks here headed toward turn number 3. Lights are out on the pace car, as Todd said. Jeff Travillo, the 80, he's going to be showing pace here as they work their way through turns 3 and 4. Lights are out on the speedway. Sean Prime, the 015, he's going to set the pace on that outside row. In your second spot, row 2, Brian Ordo, Josh Metallic, Steve Powers, David Day. We've seen these guys up near the front all night long, and I expect nothing less as we're going to put 74 laps up on the board, and it looks like the pace truck has headed in, and we're looking for the green flag.
Yeah, pace truck did make that hard left-hand turn down to pit road. We're getting ready to go back to green flag racing, and we're back to green. They put the hammer down, and the 80 of Jeff Corvello takes the early advantage on the start. The 015 of Sean Prime been strong on the outside all night. He's going to be side by side with Corvello going into 1.
Crivello with that inside line. Looks like he may get that spot. I wonder if Sean, the little damage from that outside wall a little while ago, may affect that drag on that truck. Crivello's going to be clear. He's going to take the race lead. And now the race is on for second. Sean Prime, the 71 of Ortho, and they're 2-3 wide behind. Big move from David Day. He was 6 going into that restart. He's going to be battling for 4th off of turn number 4.
Brian Ordo and the number 71 is going to take over the top spot. The 532 of Powers is going to second, but 3 wide. David Day up through the middle. Jeff Crivello was way up on the top side as David Day is motoring towards the front. He did say it was go time, Racer, and he's showing everything he's got right now.
Oh, he sure did. Big power move there. Restarted 6th. He's now up into the 2nd position. He's going to look to challenge Ordo. He's got a lot of speed on that high groove. He's up high, challenging for the race lead. Ordo's down low in that black number 71. And David Day and the 5, they're up high. They're side by side into turn number 3.
David Day runs it hard into the corner. He's still on the top side of the speedway trying to get around the 71 of Ordo. Ordo has the preferred groove, and David Day has no help on the top side as Steve Powers is pushing the 71 of Brian Ordo. Powers is going to take over that 2nd spot, and David Day is going to drop like a rock back through the field. It looks like he may end up in 5th or 6th after we all get done shuffling through.
Well, we've seen it before on these big tracks. If you get that push, you get that fast car out of the way, and it did that. Steve moved in a 2nd, but he's under fire now. Sean Prime in the 15, he's down low. He's looking to take that 2nd spot. They're using the draft to their advantage. Steve's up high. He's got to run, making that little side draft work. They're side by side through turns 3 and 4. Your race leader, Brian Ordo, in the 71.
Continued to be side by side, Sean Prime and the 532 of Steve Powers. Here comes Josh Metallic into the fray. David Day looks like he's going to try to put it up the middle, but he's not going to do so. He's going to beat and bang off the 39's rear bumper, trying to let him know he's there. Here comes David Day. He's making a move to the top side. The 39 of Josh Metallic down low. Brian Ordo is going to relinquish the lead to the 015 of Sean Prime as they're side by side all the way through the field, Phil.
2 by 2, 3 or 4 rows back. Look at Frank Divins, the 49, all tore up machine. He's up there battling amongst the ranks of the top 5, side by side from 3rd on back, 2 rows deep. Your race leaders, they come across to put the 78th lap up on the scoreboard, 3 wide for 3rd. Your race leader is Brian Ordo in the 71. Oh, Sean Prime, the 15. He scored the race leader this time by.
Here comes the 49 of Frank Divins down to the inside. He's going to take over that 3rd spot from David Day. What a run by the 49 of Frank Divins. He's going to peak low the 39 of Josh Metallic, but he can't quite pull off that maneuver as the 5 of David Day slicing and dicing. Go down to the inside with the number 5 machine. He's going to battle for 2nd. He's got a huge run. He might even battle for the lead.
Oh, he took that big slingshot move up on Josh Metallic. David Day up into the 2nd spot, trying to get past Prime there. There's 1-2 single file as they come back towards start-finish line. Frank Divins, he's side by side there with a 39 of Metallic. They're going to be double file as they head back toward turn 1. Single file amongst the top 2 as they work around the east side of the speedway.
Still a battle now, battling for that 5th position is the 088 of Tim Nosker. He's trying to get down below the 71 of Brian Ordo. He's got some help from the 44 machine of Corey Deal. Corey Deal, we've mentioned him pretty much in the top 10 all night in that 44 machine, but he's been kind of quiet, Phil.
Yeah, and 10-4 to that, and we look back up to the front. Race lead side by side. David Day has found running room beneath the 015 of Sean Prime. Put David Day to the top of the leaderboard as they hit the start-finish line. Sean's going to pull up on that high line, try to get a run. Looks like there's going to be a big line underneath the 15. Josh Metallic, the 39. He's going to put that in there. And Frank Divins still there in that 49. I can't believe the run he's got in that damage machine. He's going to be battling amongst the top 3 or 4 as they head down the back straightaway.
Yeah, what a tore-up machine that 49 is of Frank Divins, and he's battling in the top 5. I'm just so amazed by what that machine is doing right now, and it's got to be a handful in that 49 as he's battling for 3rd with the 015 of Sean Prime as they're side by side.
Side by side for 3rd. Running in that 2nd spot, Josh Metallic looking in his mirror with Sean Prime drafting through the 15. He's going to clear Frank, and now he's going to put under assault on the 39. Is there 2 by 2 and 2 by 2 behind them as Steve Powers to try to put it in the middle 3 wide. And we have 1 around. Yellow flag on the speedway.
Tim Nosker around. It looked like they made 3 wide, and it looked like the middle car kind of bounced around, and Tim Nosker got the bad end of the stick there as he's going to pound the outside wall, and he's been a strong strong contender here this evening.
Looks like the initial contact with Nosker came from the 532 with Steve Powers. We said he was in the middle trying to make it look 3 wide. I believe Rich will have the replay queued up here for us shortly. I think that's what we'll see is the 532 and the 88. They'll make initial contact, putting us under the yellow. Throw the fuel mileage out the window now as we're 82, make it 83 laps toward the line. Down under 20 to go left in this event, or once again under the yellow flag.
We might not have to pull that fuel mileage out the window yet, or throw it out the window yet, Phil, because a lot of these guys didn't pit last time, and they're going to have to go down pit road, but some of them may gamble and stay out and have that extra couple of laps of clutching or saving their fuel to try to stay up front and have that most valuable track position.
We'll definitely be looking to see what their strategy may just be here as they work through the west side of the speedway here through turns number 3 and 4. And let's bring it down to Rich. I think Rich has the replay queued up for us. Rich, what do you got?
Yeah, most definitely. Welcome back to the DRTV replay booth. And as you can see here, we got 3 wide. As we roll this forward, you can see that the 532 just taps the 088. They were pretty tight to begin with. Not a whole lot of room to play there. The aftermath that came from this, though, is there's another couple of trucks that came right down, or actually the 088 came right down in front of a couple other trucks, and that caused them to get sideways and get tangled up. So looks like we had 3 trucks involved totally, all basically starting with a little bump on the 088 from the 532.
Yeah, 10-4, Rich. That's exactly what we've seen here looking through our replays here, and you got in the booth there. That verifies. Pit road is very, very busy. All the leaders are on pit road. Prime in the 15, David Day in the 5, the 39, Josh Metallic. Everybody amongst the top lead group is all in. They'll roll away from pit road.
The only one to stay out, Phil, it's interesting. The 532 of Steve Powers is the only leader that was in the top 5 or top 10 to stay out.
Well, we'll see if maybe he's going to come to pit road this second time by, is maybe named the perpetrator of that yellow. Looking at the race off pit road, David Day in the 5 appears to have won the race off of pit road over the 39 of Josh Metallic and the 15 of Sean Prime. So if all cycles out the way I think it's going to, if Steve Powers does come to pit road, your leaders have all come in and taken tires, and I think we're seeing the 532 down on that inside line. Looks like he may be making toward that left-hand turn to head toward pit road. Behind him we see the 7 of Side Jones. He's rode around all night long. He's showed currently 1 lap down to the 18th position, soldiering on here tonight trying to find a good finish. So we see both of them trucks have indeed found the low lane. They'll head to pit road, and that'll inherit the lead back to the 5 truck of David Day. He will be your race leader. So looking through the replays and all the contact on the racetrack, let's see if you can't get a hold of somebody. We got the 088. We'll see if we get him on the radio. Tim Nofskerd's Phil, Rich, and Todd on the booth. Do you have a copy?
Yeah, I gotcha.
Tim, great show out there tonight. Looks like you had a strong piece. Looks like you may have been caught up and got some nice contact on that wreck. Is the truck okay?
Yeah, I got a couple dings on it. Nothing too serious, it looks like.
Now, the racing has been hot and heavy. The draft has really, really played a role here tonight. A lot of grip out on the racetrack. I mean, is that what you're seeing from the cockpit? What is it like out there?
Oh, the racing's phenomenal. I mean, you know, it's a 2-3 wide race and pretty much a whole race, so it's been pretty good.
Well, you showed a lot of guys here. We're starting to have been really patient just working that draft. We're seeing a lot of aggressive moves here in the last 15, 20 laps. Guys trying to make it 3 wide and trying to elbow their way up there. I mean, it's obviously go time. I mean, now you're going to be starting deep in the field here. I mean, is it time to go?
Yeah, no time like the present.
Yeah, 10-4, bud. Well, good. Thanks for taking a word with us. I think we're about 1 to go. You'll be getting back to green. Good luck the rest of the night, and we hope to see you take that 088 back to the front.
All right, we'll see what we can do. Thanks a lot.
All right, good luck, bud. Tim there in the 088. Todd, reset the field.
Resetting the field right now. Your current race order is the number 5 of David Day. The 39 is running second. That's Josh Metallic. Third is the 015 of Sean Prime. Fourth, the 49 of Frank Divins. with that really, really tore up machine. He's amazing me here this evening. 5th is the 532 of Steve Powers. 6th, the 044 of Corey Deal. 7th, the 065 of Larry Yeager Jr. As now we're resetting it again. Larry Yeager Jr. now 6th. 7th is the 18 of David Lawson. 8th is the 69. That's Terry Bauman. 9th is the 95 of Dave Earlywine. 10th is the 71 of Brian Ordo. 11th is the 80 of Jeff Crovello. 12th is the number 10 of Terry Bombard. 13th, the 710 of Manny Diaz. 14th, the 003 of David Cannon. 15th, the 532 of Steve Powers. 16th, the 59 of Herman Reese. 17th, the 088 of Tim Nosker. He's got a long way to come back up towards the front, but he has had a really, really good piece here this evening. 18th, one lap down, is the number 7 of Cy Jones. And out of this race right now, 19th, the 102 of Rusty Little. 20th, the 13 of Dave Melson. 21st, the 6 of Zach Freemow. 22nd, the 9 of Matt Whale. And 23rd was the 28 of Gord Quinn.
So there's your field reset. 1 to go while lights are out in the pace car as they roll through turns to number 3 and 4. David Day is your race leader with Josh Metallic, the 39. They'll be your front row as they come back. 15 laps to go in the event. As we come back toward the start-finish line, we'll look for the green flag. It's definitely go time. You see the 15 of Sean Prime there. He'll restart inside row 2. Frank Divins at 49, somehow able to keep that thing up near the front. That'll be your top 2 rows as Todd, the pace car is in.
Yep, pace truck makes that hard left-hand turn down to pit road. We're getting ready to go back to green flag racing. Flagger throws the green flag, and the number 5 of David Day takes over that top spot. But with such an amazing start, the 015 of Sean Prime follows on the rear bumper of the 5 of David Day. Those are your top 2 right now.
Yeah, looks like that second car on the inside, the third starting spot, may be the place to be in the restart. Able to push your way in there. You see Sean, he'll push his way up into second, and he's going to fall under fire for the third car on the inside. That's Corey Deal in the 044. He's going to swing it low. He's going to put the battle to Prime as they head toward the back straightaway and into turn number 3. Deal down low. Prime's going to clear him. Now he's going to be under fire from the 39 of Josh Metallic. They're going to be side by side, and now Prime up in front. They're going to be side by side for the race lead as they head toward the start-finish line.
Side by side, Sean Prime down to the inside. David Day on the top shelf with the number 5 machine. Here comes the 44 of Corey Deal with an amazing run in that third spot. He's trying to get into the fray. The 39 of Josh Metallic, they're 2 by 2 by 2 by 2, 8 rows deep. Wow.
Yeah, it goes to show, I believe, the inside line may be the place to be on that restart, as all them cars up in the top 3 restart on that inside line, first, third, and fifth. They're 2 by 2, 3, 4 rows deep again as they head toward turn 3. Sean Prime on that inside, David Day in the 5 up high. That's your battle for the race lead. Row 2 there on the inside, Corey Deal in the 044. Josh Metallic's up high as Yellow Flag Fever back on the speedway.
Yeah, paging Dr. Green. We need some elixir for the yellow fever, as we've got 3 yellows here in the last 25 laps. When it's go time, that's interesting to see. That's what you're going to see.
I see the 710 may have been involved. Not sure if that was a self-spin or what that was. I'm sure Rich will be on all over it in the control booth. But I'm seeing the 710 slow off the pace. So we're under yellow. Lap 88 up on the scoreboard, getting down to the nitty-gritty here in this event. A lot of great racing around the speedway. Sean Prime, David Day, they're going to set the field up front. Cannot imagine anybody's going to come to pit road this late in the go and give up that track position. As we'll throw it down to Rich. I believe Rich has the replay, and we'll see what happened.
Yeah, most definitely back down here in the replay booth once again. We got our eyes on the 710, the Alliance Ford. And obviously he's going to get a little bit loose going into this corner. Might touch the apron a little bit. Gets his truck upset as we start rolling through this footage for you. As you can see down there, left front catches the apron. Gets down on the apron. Already drifting a little bit. Brings it right back up to track. A couple trucks coming his way. They clear him. He bounces it off the wall. And able to recover after that bounce and get his truck turned around in the right direction and all. But it doesn't look like too much others were involved, just the 710. Back to you guys.
All right, Rich, thank you very much. Looking back at that yellow, looks like Manny D in the 710 may have just had a self-spin there. We'll see if we can get a word with Manny. Manny D, which is Phil, Tall, and Rich up in the booth. You have a copy?
Yeah, I got a copy on you, Rich. Go ahead.
All right, Manny. Tough to see you go around there. You've been holding on to the end of the draft all night long. What happened there to bring out the yellow?
I just got the apron just a little bit there, and back end was a little loose. A little too early to push it at that point. With my own thing there. A few laps to go. I try to get a little further up.
Now, we've seen you, I think you were involved in a little skirmish there, yellow or two ago, had a little damage left on the truck. Is the truck okay? You still strong enough to come back through?
Yeah, I think so. I got hit in the rear quarter on that last thing there. Somebody got me come up the apron, and I might have been upset a little bit.
Yeah, 10-4. Well, Manny, good luck the rest of the night. We hope to see the 710 come back up the front, and go get it, my friend.
Thank you. We'll do what we can.
All right, that's Manny D in the 710. Involved in that yellow is Todd. We'll let you reset the field here. We're down under 10 laps to go.
Resetting the field as we're getting ready to go to 10 laps to go. Sean Prime, your current race leader. David Day and that number 5 machine been strong all night. So hasn't the 015 of Sean Prime. But David Day is running second. Third is the 044 of Corey Deal. Fourth, the 39 of Josh Metallic. Fifth, the 49 of Frank Divins. Sixth, the 065 of Larry Yeager. Seventh is the 69 of Terry Bauman. Eighth is the 18 of David Lawson. Ninth, the 95 of Dave Earlywine. 10th is the 71 of Brian Ordo. 11th is the 532 of Steve Powers making his way back up through the field. 12th is the number 80 of Jeff Cirillo. 13th is the 59 of Herman Reese. 14th, the 003 of David Cannon. 15th, now back on the lead lap, is the number 7 of Cy Jones. 16th, the number 10 of Terry Bombard. 17th is the 088 of Tim Nosker. And rounding out your field right now would be the 710 in 18th of Manny Diaz.
All right, thank you very much, Todd. A lot of great racing here to go. Less than 10 laps to go in the event. A lot of great piece up in the front. One that caught my eye here in this last restart started to restart on the inside line, the 5th position. Corey Deal in the 044 car. Corey, it's Rich, Todd, and Phil up in the booth. You get a copy?
Yeah, I got you loud and clear.
Corey having a great run out there tonight. Looking like going to be rolling off here in the 3rd starting position here. Under 10 laps to go in the event. You got enough to go up there and go get the race win?
I sure hope so. I mean, this has been really close racing. Just hope my internet holds up.
No, 10-4, as you said. A lot of close racing out there tonight. Grip in the racetrack looks to be really high tonight as guys are able to put that up high, up, down low, and make moves and whatnot. How much is the draft really making an effect tonight? I mean, you're going to be able to go out there by yourself, or you're going to need a dance partner to make a pass?
Oh, I'm going to need a dance partner for sure, for dang sure. It's really tough making a pass by yourself. I started to get freight trained on that restart, when I tried to pass by myself until Prime pulled out in front of me, and he started pulling me just a little bit past Josh.
Yeah, Prime's been fast all night long here. You're rolling up toward 1 to go. Anything you'd like to say? Somebody to shout out to here as you roll down the final few laps?
I'd just like to say thanks for RTG putting it on. Thanks to you guys for broadcasting this, and a shout out to my boy Chris Robbins. He should be listening. But yeah, that's about it.
All right, it's Corey Deal. He'll roll off 3rd. Corey, thank you for the word. Good luck the rest of the evening. And Todd, less than 10 laps to go. I mean, the heavy hitters are toward the front, and it looks like we have something winding down. It's going to be a great finish.
Yeah, some of the guys to watch, though, are that are 10th on back. Brian Ordo, he's been up in the top 5, but he's sitting 10th right now. I think Brian Ordo is going to make a late race charge.
Rich, what do you got for us?
Yeah, I'm down here checking out our chat box on YouTube. To the right-hand side of our live broadcast for YouTube members, you're able to chat with us. And just checking in, we got Adam Holm out there giving David Day a good shout-out, saying, "Go David Day." Also, Chris Robbins, as mentioned before, he's also rooting for a couple different drivers. And we also have the Metallic Whale out there, excited watching the show. So congratulations to all the drivers that are out there. Got your race fans watching and participating on the chat box. And if I see anything else on there, I'll give you guys a holler. Back to you guys.
All right, thank you very much, Rich. Reset the top 5 here. Sean Prime, David Day, Corey Deal, Josh Metallic, Frank Divins. That'll be your top 5. As we're rolling up, it looks like there'll be 8 laps left to go on the scoreboard here. As Todd, looks like the pace car is about to make that hard left turn, and we'll see green here, and hopefully we can keep this thing green and take this out to the finish.
Leaders starting to wait for that green flag. Green flag flies. The drivers mash the gas. They go down through the front straightaway. Pretty much an even start between Sean Prime and David Day. They're side by side going down the front straightaway into corner number 1.
Top 2 rows side by side. Frank Divins there in that 5th spot. He's going to slide up to the high lane, try to find room. Now he'll peek back to the inside to make that move underneath the 39 of Josh Metallic. That's the race for 4th. They're side by side for 2nd. On the inside there, Corey Deal, the 044. He's got David Day up high in the 5. All chasing that 15 of Sean Prime. They're under the assault into turn 3.
David Day drifts up the track. That's going to leave the door wide open for the 44 of Corey Deal. Deal going to get down low. So is the 39 of Josh Metallic. The 49 of Frank Divins. He's running 3rd, and he's going to take a look to the bottom for 2nd.
He sure is. He's going to get down there looking underneath Deal for 2nd. David Day in the 5. He dropped back to about the 6th or 7th position on that skirmish. They're racing hot and heavy up near the front. Prime is your race leader. Corey Deal. Frank Divins to 49. Looks like Frank maybe pulling up into that 2nd spot as they're drag racing side by side down the back straightaway toward turn 3.
Strong maneuver from the 015 of Sean Prime as he was up to the top side. He came all the way down to the bottom to get the draft and tried to break it like an S down through the back straightaway. The 44 of Corey Deal still running 2nd. Battle for 3rd right now is Josh Metallic and the 49 of Frank Divins. They're side by side, but it's not going to last long as the 39 of Josh Metallic has no help on the high side.
Nah, he's being freight trained. We're looking at David Day in the 5. He may make that 3 wide. He's going to tuck it back in line. They still may be 3 wide anyways. A row up in front. It looks like the 69 Terry Bauman is in there. He's looking for room down low. He's got someone kicked up high. I believe that may be the 44 of Corey Deal.
Where did the 69 of Terry Bauman come from? He is now running 4th, looking on the rear bumper of the 49 of Frank Divins, but he's got challenges on the outside from the 39 of Josh Metallic. Bauman slips up the track a little bit in front of Josh Metallic.
We have yellow on the speedway. Yellow flag is out. We'll see if we can't get a number on maybe the culprit of the yellow. I see the 95 of Dave Earlywine. He's spun that around on the back straightaway. Looks like his night may be over. Looks like he may have caught the snow as well. So we're going to come back to the yellow. I believe they may be racing back to the line, and we're going to be under 5 laps to go. So we'll have Rich go back in the control booth through the replay, see if we can't take a look at what may have happened there. I can tell you for sure it was a 95 Dave Earlywine. He was around. I found him in the snowbank here. We'll see if Rich can't get us back through the replay. So as we're set the field here, Sean Prime has your race lead in the 15, Corey Deal, the 044, Frank Divins, the 49, David Day in the 5. He's found his way back up to the 4 spot, and Terry Bauman, he's having a great run of that 69. He currently rounds out your top 5. All right, let's start down to Rich.
All right, guys, back in the replay booth once again, and we are looking at the 95 of Earlywine, and also Powers is going to get involved in the 532 as we roll through this film and let you see what happens. It looks like 95 is running a decent line. The 532 looks like he's going to try to squeeze down there in the middle, and there's just not a whole lot of room. That's very tight racing, and he just happens to touch his rear quarter panel, and that's going to send the 95 around, put him up against the wall, and then would you believe what happened? You know it's wintertime, right? And you know it's getting close to Christmas, so it looks like he just wanted to go check out the snow to me, and he's going to drive that truck right into the snowbank. Back to you guys.
All right, do you want to build a snowman there? Asked Dave Earlywine of that 95. Tough to see him out of the event. Looks like as we roll through here, under the 5 laps to go, Mark. 17 trucks all back on the lead lap. We saw Cy Jones there running 17th. He's found his way onto that tail end, coming back from a couple of laps down, so good to see that. We're rolling around under yellow. Be 4 laps left to go on the scoreboard. And Todd, I mean, we hope to see, I think we're going to see a green flag here with maybe a 1 or 2 lap shootout. And all these names at the front, it looks like we're in for a whale of a show.
Definitely in for one whale of a show if we get back to green flag racing, which we all hope we do, because these guys have put on an amazing race tonight. These RollingThunderGaming.com racers, and they're from MSR too. There's a whole community over here of really, really stout racers. These guys have put on an amazing show here this evening. Just a reminder, guys, and fans and drivers, whoever's listening to this broadcast, you can buy the DVD after the race at drlracing.com/DRTV. Go right to the shopping cart and you should be able to purchase a DVD right from there. High quality DVDs put out by Rich Patton. Does an amazing job with those. So hopefully we'll see some DVDs purchased here this evening. $10 for a DVD.
All right, Todd. Well, we're rolling around here. A couple laps to go. We'll take a look through the field here. I'm going to get a word with, see if we can get 69 of Terry Bauman on the radio. Terry, it's Rich, Phil, and Todd in the booth. You have a copy?
Yes, sir.
Oh, been absolutely fantastic racing out there tonight. Looks like you've kept yourself out of trouble, and now here we are in the latter part of the race here. A few laps to go, you find yourself in the top 5. You got anything for them front runners?
It's going to be tough with Prime and David Day. I think those are the 2 favorites right now. It's my favorite track, so I don't know.
Yeah, a lot of great racing out there tonight. Drafting, we're seeing 2 wide guys able to pass anyone on the racetrack, and a lot of great racing around the speedway. I mean, how's the snow factor into this equation? I mean, I've seen guys get stuck in it. I mean, it must be slick. You get that some of that on your tires. I mean, what is that?
Yeah, I've got a little loose a couple times from snow being thrown out on the track. You just got to deal with it.
Yeah, 10-4. It's a whole new element of surprise on you going around at these speeds. Terry, as part of the ownership here, RTG, you must be tickled pink with this field tonight. The racing has been great, and I'm sure you're grinning ear to ear but what this product has been like tonight. It's been great to watch them in here.
Oh, that's good. This is what the racing's like every day of the week here at RTG. And we got some awesome drivers. I thank them for supporting this league and keeping it alive. David Cannon, the co-owner, our admin, Sean Prime, Doug Woolley, and Matt Whale. And then our associate leagues, MSR and TNT. It's just a blast here. If you're looking for a nice, clean, fast place to race, come check us out.
And 10-4. Been great racing here all night long. Terry, we'll let you get back to it. Believe you may be coming to 1 to go. Good luck the rest of the night, and go get that top 3.
Thank you.
All right, Terry Bauman here, one of the co-owners here of RTG. A lot of great guys in here tonight. Racing's been phenomenal, and Todd, it looks like we're going to shape up here for a great race to the finish.
Yeah, it does look like it's going to shape up to be a wonderful race as the pace lights are out on that truck. We're going to reset the field. Sean Prime, your current race leader. Corey Deal sitting second. Frank Divins in that really tore up truck running third. Fourth is the 5 of David Day. Fifth is the 69 of Terry Bauman, who we just spoke to. Hopefully, he said it was his favorite track. We'll have to keep an eye on him these last couple laps, see where he can slice and dice himself up and put him in a position to win. 6th is the 39 of Josh Metallic. 7th, the 065 of Larry Yeager Jr. 8th is the 18 of David Lawson. 9th is the 59 of Herman Reese. And rounding out your top 10 right now is the 532 of Steve Powers.
So there's a roll toward turn number 3. Lights are out in the pace car, and race fans and all you watching on DRTV tonight, and may hopefully get the DVD here and see the great product we got putting out tonight. 3 favorite words for a fan, a race fan anywhere: green, white, checker. We're going to be looking at that as we come back to get this restart with 2 laps to go. One time around, we'll see the white flag, and then it will be settling the score a lap later. So we see these guys all strapped in, ready to go. Pace truck about to pull off the speedway, and that front row, Sean Prime, Corey Deal, and keep an eye out for Frank on that 49. Looks like that has been the place to be in that 3rd position coming out of the restart. Todd, game on.
Definitely game on as the flagger has the green flag in hand. The drivers mash the gas because the green flag is waving. Sean Prime with an amazing start on. He was on the gas a lot faster than the 44 Corey Deal. It might have been a kind of a teamwork there as the 44 drifted right down, right behind the 15 of Sean Prime.
Their single file, first 2 off of turn number 2. The race is for 3rd. We see Frank down low, David Day up high. They restarted that 2nd row. They're going to hold true to form side by side now, maybe looking 3 wide as there's a caution behind the 18 of David Lawson's around, and this may be the race back for the checkered flag. Sean Prime has your race lead, staying with the lead pack. Sean's got the race lead. He's going to look battle for the lead, Todd.
David Day looked low momentarily, but the 015 of Sean Prime's going to hold on to it. He's going to race back to the yellow. It looks like, barring anything, the 015 of Sean Prime's going to win with David Day second. The 3rd place man would be the 044 Corey Deal, as there's cars and carnage all over the speedway.
I seen 2 or 3 separate incidents, couple of trucks stuck in the snowbank. I see Terry Bauman, the 69, he just pulled out of the snow, sliding all over the place, heavy damage to that machine. But your race winner, the 015 of Sean Prime, he's going to take down the win here in the Happy Holidays 200 for the Michigan International Speedway.
The number 5 of David Day is going to finish second. Third, the 044 Corey Dale. Fourth, the 39 of Josh Metallic. And fifth is the 49 of Frank Divins. I tell you what, for those drivers driving in the snow, you can't make snow angels down there. I don't know how come that snow's so hard. It's not even fluffy.
Exactly right, boss.
It should be fluffy. It's just, I don't know what they did to the snow. It's just maybe melted and made ice.
Well, we're coming under the checkered flag. Flagman has that flag in the air, and it looks like it's going to be the 015 of Sean Prime. He looks to be, and he'll take the race win officially. He's your race winner of the 15. David Day is going to come in the second, or Corey Deal the second spot. And it looks like Josh Metallic is going to be scored third. So we're going to get the running order jumbled up here.
Yeah, the running order right now is pretty jumbled up. We don't have the official standings. These are all unofficial standings as of we speak right now. But these guys at RTG, Rolling Thunder Gaming, put on an amazing show here this evening. 3, 4 wide, 2 wide. They were all over the place.
All right, it's official. It's official. Sean Prime has taken the race win. Corey Deal is going to come home in that second spot, and David Day will be your third place man.
Sean Prime getting ready to do the burnout down there on the front straightaway, staying away from that snow because it caused some havoc to your motor. It's not fluffy, remember that. It is really, really hard.
All right, we'll see if we can't get a word with our top 3 finishers. Let's see if we can't pull in our third place finisher. Looks to be the 044 Corey Deal.
So I'm down here with 044 Corey Deal, the real deal they call him, as his fans on chat box. Third place finish, Corey. How you feeling tonight about that, buddy?
Oh, I mean, I'm happy, but I just wish I could have seen the green to go. I was kind of seeing what I could do. You know, just was on a ride behind him and maybe use the draft to my advantage, or secretly let David Day behind me, let them get side by side and take them 3 wide and pass both of them. But, you know, it ended short.
There you go. You got to love it when some plans come together. It's been a tough crowd out there. Everybody had to fight for every inch. There was a lot of 3 wide racing, door handle to door handle. Congratulations on your third place finish. Is there anybody out there you want to give a shout out to?
Just wish Chris Robbins could have been here. You know, he fell asleep and woke up a little bit too late, but, you know, I'll give a shout out to him and just everybody out there watching. This was fun.
Yeah, just to let you know, Chris Robbins was watching, and he's rooting for you in the chat box. I kept seeing him post a couple things here and there, and you were definitely one of them. So your fans are watching you, buddy. Congratulations again.
Thanks, guys. Thanks to you guys for putting it on.
All right, I'm going to send this over to Too Tall. I believe Too Tall has our second place driver out there. Do you, Too Tall?
Yeah, I'm down here with driver the number 5, David Day, your second place finisher this evening. David, awesome. You had an awesome restart on the last lap of the race. Tell us what you seen from the cockpit.
I wish that caution never came out, because I had him set up and for that next lap, and just dived into 3 when I seen the caution and it stuck, and seen Corey made a mistake, so I took advantage of it. But yeah, I needed one more lap to get Sean, and I would have had that.
Yeah, it looks like when you were in third or any of the third place running trucks, you got one whale of a draft off them top 2 cars, and you just dove to the inside. Corey Deal did make a mistake. You got there, and then it looked like you were actually going to be able to pull off the pass on Prime.
Yeah, I thought so too. Because I got a huge run into 3, but not slide up in the quarry. I had to let off just a tad, and I guess that was enough not to get underneath Sean. But we'll take second. Won a couple of these in the past, but or maybe one of them. But man, I really wanted one more lap. That's all I needed.
Well, one more lap is the theme here this evening. One more lap could have won this race. David Day wishing he had one more lap. But David, anybody out there you would like to thank this evening?
Yeah, just thanks to RTG, Rolling Thunder Gaming. I mean, to me, it's the best league still around, and you know, all the donators that helped out all year, and you know, best racing I think online right now. So I mean, a little bit too many cautions tonight, but I mean, really not bad at all, and got to show off what we can do on Mondays, and shout out to 3 Unit as well.
Oh, good job, David, on your second place finish. I'm going to throw it down to Phil with our race winner. Do you have him, Phil?
Yes, I do. I'm down here in Victory Lane. Sean Prime, your pole sitter and tonight's race winner of the Happy Holidays 200 here at Michigan International Speedway. Sean, congratulations.
Oh, thank you, guys. I'm still trying to catch my breath down here.
A phenomenal race tonight, guys, side by side. I mean, you were up near the front all night long. Didn't see you get too far deep in the pack. I mean, a lot of hungry wolves out here tonight. Tell us about the race tonight.
I got to tell you, I am blessed and fortunate because I race and hang out with the best group of guys out there. I mean, we had a couple of cautions in there, but you see how tight and how clean we can run, and it is a blast. It just, I don't know if that caution didn't come out at the end, if I would have been able to hold off the hungry wolves, but I got shuffled back a couple times. I am just ecstatic to get there and to be here with you guys in Victory Lane. I want to thank, first and foremost, Rolling Thunder Gaming, Terry Bauman and David Cannon, you know, made a home for me. I can't tell you how much happy I am to be part of that and all the work they do, and all the guys here and all our parts of Rolling Thunder Gaming, MSR and TNT, and just I'm fortunate to have a great group of guys here.
Well, yeah, on behalf of all of us here in the booth, Rich, Todd, and myself, I want to say congratulations to you. Great show tonight from the guys at Rolling Thunder Gaming, and a great race here, the Happy Holidays 200 for Michigan. And I can say for myself, I'm looking forward to seeing you guys back with the NRT 500 here in a few weeks. Sean, good luck down the line, and congratulations again on your race win.
Thank you again, guys. Congratulations and welcome aboard. I hope we gave you guys a good show.
Absolutely did. Thank you again, Sean. And Rich, what a great show this evening, and we'll throw it to you one final time.
Oh, most definitely. This was one heck of a show these guys put on tonight. We saw a big class of a bunch of talented drivers. These drivers were neck to neck, door handle most of the night. A lot of 3-wide racing. Just an amazing show these guys put on. I want to thank RTG again for letting us put on this show for them tonight. They certainly made us proud, and hopefully we made them proud, and we have a good relationship going forward. But that's pretty much it for our broadcast tonight. Phil, Todd, anything you want to give a shout out before we sign out of here?
I just want to give a shout out to these great competitors out here tonight. What a phenomenal show. Michigan International Speedway did not disappoint. 2-wide racing all night long, and Todd, with the great field we had, I don't think we could ask for anything better.
No, I don't think we can ask for anything better. I want to give a shout out to RTG, RollingThunderGaming.com, for putting on the show and having us aboard here, and hopefully many more to come. As I enjoyed this race this evening, and there's two, like you said, 3-wide racing, and when you get us out of breath, you know you're doing something right.
Well, 10-4, there you have it, race fans. That's going to bring a close to this episode of DRTV at Michigan International Speedway with Rolling Thunder Gaming. They have several different leagues under their belt, so probably a good idea to go check them out and get involved. This is a high-class group of guys, and you won't be disappointed. So, once again, this is Rich Patton on Phil Lacoste and Todd Stanton up in the booth, and we'll sign off with this happy little Christmas jingle. So thanks for watching, everybody.
We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. The tidings we bring to you and your kid. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Now bring us some figgy pudding. Now bring